What is up, my fellow astronauts? In this video, let's talk about Ecklonia cava, also called bladderwrack, the brown Japanese seaweed, on testosterone, estrogen, and I'm going to show you some really interesting studies on the effect on erections, specifically with this seaweed, and also the miraculous antioxidants that this can contain and improve your health quality. But before we dive into the video, if you have not already, be sure to get my ebook on how to maximize your testosterone naturally. If you would like to work with me, links are in the description below. Let's dive in. Well, so first, in terms of estradiol, there was a really interesting study in women that had estrogen dominance, and you can see how significantly Ecklonia lowered estradiol. So this was a 700 milligrams and a 1.4 grams of Ecklonia. So it reduced estradiol from 626 to 164 on the 700 milligrams dose, and then to 92.5 on the 1.4 gram dose. So it's really good at lowering excessive estradiol, and then as a result, it actually also increased progesterone, which I'll show you in the next slide, from 0.58 to 8.4 and then to 16.8 in women. So it had a stimulatory effect on the ovary. So if this was men, it might have very likely had a stimulatory effect on the testes as well. And I'll show you a study later on in this video showing how a combination with Ecklonia cava can dramatically help to increase your testosterone. In terms of estrogen receptors, you can see how adding estradiol with Ecklonia cava significantly reduced the effects of estradiol. The more they added, the less effective estradiol was. And you can also see how aromatase, it dramatically reduces the activity of aromatase the more of this Ecklonia cava extract they added. So it has strong anti-aromatase and anti-estrogenic effects in the body. And as I mentioned, this is how it increases progesterone, baseline 700 milligrams and 1.4 grams. All right, so this is a study at increasing testosterone, but the Ecklonia that they used was in a combination product, trodamycina, which contained 150 milligrams of this Ecklonia bicyclist, which is also cava, 376 milligrams of tribulus terrestris, which has not been known to increase testosterone, 144 milligrams of glucosamine, and N-acetyl D-glucosamine, which doubled total and free testosterone. You can see massive increase there in testosterone, going from just over 200 to almost 700. So it was like more than double increase in total testosterone, massive increase. And then free testosterone also increased when they used this combination product. Now keep in mind that tribulus has not been shown to increase testosterone in humans, but it could be that there is a synergistic effect between Ecklonia and tribulus. But this 150 milligrams of Ecklonia is also not even that much, which is quite interesting. So there might be a synergistic combo. Now, the reason they added the glucosamine and N-acetyl glucosamine is because that helps with increasing erections, nothing really to do with testosterone. But it's possible that this combination product or Ecklonia on its own might dramatically increase testosterone. Now, be cautious, because this study was done by the individuals that were invested in the company making this product. There is always the risk of bias. Right, improves erections. They gave the same product and they compared it to 5 milligrams of daily Cialis. So this was the IIEF, which is a score for erections, with this Ecklonia compound, combination product, and then the score with tadalafil 5 milligrams. You can see there was a better improvement in erectile function, like a doubling, with the Ecklonia product, but not with this tadalafil. Now, obviously, tadalafil was also really effective, but this Ecklonia product was just more effective. All right, so it enhances sexual function as well. So this was overall satisfaction massively improved with the Ecklonia use. Sexual desire went up significantly, more than double, so it enhanced libido as well. So this might obviously be because of the tribulus. So tribulus is known to enhance libido. So again, there might be a synergistic combo between the Ecklonia and the tribulus. Orgasmic function dramatically improved, intercourse satisfaction dramatically increased, and erectile function massively increased. So as you can see, like Ecklonia, or at least this product, is really good for sexual satisfaction, orgasmic satisfaction, and like all of the sexual satisfaction you might be interested in. All right, so now let's talk about 5-alpha reductase, because a lot of people say, like, do not use Ecklonia, it inhibits 5-alpha reductase. Now I have to say, they tested that in prostate cells, and we know that what happens in the prostate stays in the prostate. It does not mean because something is happening in the prostate that it will happen anywhere else in the body. Or let's say it's happening in the brain, or it's happening in the hair follicles. It doesn't mean it will happen everywhere else in the body. Some compounds has inhibitory effect on prostate, but the stimulatory effect in another place, right? So as you can see, they added Ecklonia cava to prostate cells, compared it to finasteride, and in a dose-dependent response, it inhibited 5-alpha reductase. But this was in the prostate, and it doesn't even mean that when you take Ecklonia, those concentrations will be able to reach the prostate or any other tissue for that matter. So this is just another graph looking at some of the ingredients in Ecklonia that inhibited 5-alpha reductase. So the most potent ones were this Eckol, and Decol was the most effective in inhibiting 5-alpha reductase. But again, like, it doesn't mean that those compounds will be able to reach any tissue at that amount necessary to inhibit 5-alpha reductase. And we don't even know if those compounds can do that in any other tissue except the prostate. So my argument on this is that if it enhances sexual satisfaction and erections and libido and all of the good stuff, and it increases testosterone, lowers estrogen, you feel more androgenic, then it's likely not a problem. So even if it lowers your DHT by a little bit, but you get all of those other benefits, why not use it, right? Especially in combination with the triples, because triples has been shown by some studies to increase DHEA and DHT. So let's say, for example, if Ecklonia were to lower 5-alpha reductase, perhaps that could have been offset by the triples at the same time. So you're still getting all of the sexual benefits by combining Ecklonia with triples. All right, some brain benefits of Ecklonia is that it increases transcranial blood flow, providing a potent release of alpha brainwaves and parasympathetic nerve response. This creates a heightened sense of relaxation and mental alertness, almost similar to what you might expect from theanine. So animal research shows a positive increase in GABA, norepinephrine, and serotonin levels, which may be why a large number of human users report improved sleep quality. And so you can see that Ecklonia in a dose-dependent response increases nitric oxide, which is also why it probably helps with erection. So it can help with pump, it can help with brain blood flow, lots of beneficial things. And therefore, that's why it's a potent vasodilator. All right, so in terms of the antioxidants, due to the partial fat solubility of the antioxidants in Ecklonia kava, its polyphenols can last from 12 to 14 hours in the human metabolism, whereas most plant-based tannins has a small half-life of approximately 30 minutes. In addition to a significant longer half-life, Ecklonia kava's oxygen radical absorbance capacity, the ORAC value for antioxidant potential, is 8,300. Much higher than land-based polyphenols. So it makes for a very potent antioxidant, which is key because it's the free radicals, those oxidants that damages the Leydig cells, it damages the penis. So if you can quench those free radicals with the antioxidants in Ecklonia, you have better testicular function, better penile function, just better health in general. And therefore, it's actually very good at stopping inflammation. So it's been shown to upregulate the expression of CD206, which is a receptor that recognizes pathogens, right? So some of these pathogens might hide from the immune system and cause inflammation. So it upregulates, kind of like that recognition receptor. So it recognizes pathogens so the body can clear it. And then it also upregulates interleukin 10, which is the anti-inflammatory cytokine. So it upregulates the CD206 by 28-fold and interleukin 10 by 22-fold. Under inflammatory conditions, inducible nitric oxide synthase is roughly 60-fold increased, which is completely reversed by Ecklonia. So inducible nitric oxide synthase is the enzyme that's been induced, upregulated by inflammatory or harmful things like endotoxin. So endotoxin causes problems by inducing a massive increase in nitric oxide production. So that nitric oxide then becomes harmful to the body, especially if it combines with another free radical called superoxide. And together they create peroxynitrite, which is like the most harmful free radical in the body. So by Ecklonia massively downregulates INOS, protects against kind of like that free radical production. In vivo, Ecklonia reverses endotoxin-caused inflammation by reducing macrophage activation from 41% to 9%, so massive anti-inflammatory benefits. Alright, so from my research and from seeing anecdotes of people using it, I think Ecklonia is fantastic. It has the potential to increase testosterone, massively improve libido and sexual function, erections, pleasure, and just overall sexual satisfaction. So even that small risk of inhibiting 5-alpha reductase, that is offset by all of the other benefits. Right, so if you experience benefits from it, don't worry about the 5-alpha reductase potential inhibition. The best thing that you can do is to do actual blood tests, right? Test your DHT, use the Ecklonia kava, retest it afterwards. What happened? right? Did it go up? Did it go down? Did it stay the same? Then you actually know, instead of placeboing yourself into like, oh, something bad is going to happen. Now, I completely understand the benefits of DHT. So for me to say this means that I'm not that worried about it, because a lot of people report benefits when they use it. It's not the same as, for example, using lion's mane or sulfameta, where some people do get sexual side effects when they use those compounds that inhibit 5-alpha reductase. All right, so if you've used it in the past before, let me know in the comments what your experience was. Did you get a boost in testosterone? Did you get a boost in libido, erectile function, all of the good stuff? Let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. All right, I hope this video was insightful. I will check you in the next one. Cheers, guys.